Story 1. The Vanishing Keepers of Flannan Isles. In the remote Outer Hebrides of Scotland, about 20 miles west of the Isle of Lewis, stands the Flannan Isles Lighthouse on Island Moor. Built in 1899, this stark white tower was designed to guide ships through the treacherous Atlantic waters, where storms could whip up waves taller than houses and fog could swallow vessels whole. But in December 1900, something unimaginable happened. 3 experienced lighthouse keepers simply vanished without a trace, leaving behind a mystery that still sends shivers down the spines of sailors and historians alike. The keepers were James Ducat, the principal keeper, a seasoned 43-year-old family man with over 20 years of service; Thomas Marshall, his 28-year-old second assistant, eager and reliable; and Donald MacArthur, a 40-year-old occasional keeper called in to replace a sick colleague. These men were no strangers to hardship. Lighthouse duty meant months of isolation, with only the roar of the sea and the mechanical tick of the lamp's rotation for company. Supplies arrived sporadically by boat, and communication was limited to signal flags or the occasional telegram from the mainland. On December 15, 1900, the steamer Archtor spotted the lighthouse as it passed by. The light was out, unusual, but perhaps due to the heavy fog. The captain noted it in his log but pressed on. Days later, on December 26th, the relief vessel Hesperus arrived to rotate the crew and deliver supplies. Joseph Moore, a relief keeper aboard, was the first to set foot on the rocky island. As the boat neared the landing platform, an eerie silence hung in the air. No one emerged to greet them. No flags waved in welcome. The sea crashed against the cliffs, but the lighthouse stood ominously quiet. Moore climbed the 160 steep steps carved into the rock, his heart pounding with growing unease. The gate to the compound was ajar, creaking in the wind. Inside, the scene was baffling. The beds were unmade, as if the men had risen in haste. A half-eaten meal sat on the table, cold mutton and potatoes, with a chair overturned nearby, suggesting a sudden interruption. The clock on the wall had stopped, its hands frozen at 3:17. The logbook was open, with the last entry dated December 15th by Thomas Marshall. Severe winds, the likes of which I have never seen before in 20 years. Ducat irritable, MacArthur crying. Crying? MacArthur was a burly, tough Highlander, not one to show emotion easily. The entry continued. Storm still raging, wind steady, sea lashed to fury, unable to go out praying. But the previous day's logs painted a picture of escalating dread. On December 12th, Marshall wrote of strange lights on the horizon, like eyes watching from the deep. Ducat's entry on the 13th mentioned whispers in the wind, calling our names,